Screamboat is one of the stupidest movies I have ever watched. But I can't help but kinda like it. This new genre of Disney-based horror movies has simultaneously been churning out some of the funniest and worst movies I have ever watched in my entire life. And Screamboat seems to be a mixture of funny, badly made, and sometimes a little bit cringe.
Out of my way. I want to be where the people are.
Now, I haven't watched that many of the Disney twisted childhood horror movies yet, to be fair. Only Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 and 2, Piglet, and now this movie. But I have received a few of them for Christmas, thanks to my amazing husband, so I'll probably cover them at some point. But despite me only watching a few of these, there's something that I've noticed that really differentiates the ones that I enjoy from the ones that I don't. And that all comes down to two things: how they justify the monster of the movie being a Disney character gone murderous, and what they do with the premise. But before I get too deeply into this, let me get introductions out of the way. Hi everybody, I'm Misa, and I love bad movies. And not only do I love watching bad movies, but I love talking about them and getting other people to watch them because I enjoy making people watch the stupid shit that I like. Hence why I'm making this video. And another reason that I'm making this video is for my amazing patrons, Rob Slide and Fox. You guys are great and have been really supportive with my content and my artwork, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's get into Screamboat. Now, something that I need to say right out of the gate before I even start talking about this movie is that usually I don't have anything pushing me towards liking a bad movie before I've even watched it, other than the fact that I just enjoy watching bad movies. Like, none of my favourite bad movies of all time have anything in them that would give me any kind of bias before watching them, or make me want to like it even if it's bad. And not good bad, just bad bad. But unfortunately, I need to recognise that this movie kinda does. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, then you'll have heard me glazing the Terrifier movies multiple times in my videos. And that's because I love the franchise a lot. Terrifier 2 and 3 are my comfort movies. Like, other than Frozen 2, these are the movies that I watch when I'm sad and need something to pick me up. Yeah, I know how that sounds. And I am going to be making a video about the franchise eventually so I can shut the fuck up about it on my channel because I know I bring it up a lot. But one of the reasons that I love the franchise so much is the main antagonist, the Miles County clown himself, Art the Clown. His character, in my opinion, is fucking hilarious. David Howard Thornton, who plays Art, is so expressive and cartoonish, despite him never speaking throughout the movies. Honestly, I feel like Terrifier is kind of more of a comedy than horror sometimes, with how hilarious David's performance is.
You sound like you want to fuck him.
I don't want to fuck him.
And when I discovered Screamboat and found out that not only was it produced by some of the same production team as Terrifier 3, but that David Howard Thornton was the main rat antagonist himself, I can't lie, I was beyond hyped. Because to me, that meant that even if the movie turned out horrifically bad, at least his performance would be good. And I do need to say that David's performance as Willy the Rat was actually my favourite part of the movie. One of the things that makes his performance as Art the Clown work so well is how expressive he is with his body language and facial expressions. And that is definitely present in this movie too, which makes sense since he used to be a mime before starring in the first Terrifier. He is so unbelievably animated throughout this film and it is hysterical to watch. However, despite his performance being a standout, that doesn't mean that the movie itself is great. So I need to put my love for David aside so that I can actually criticize the movie fairly without my bias being on display. However, for various reasons, and some of which are pretty obvious, I am inevitably going to be comparing this movie to Terrifier 3 a lot throughout this video. Unfortunately, I can't help that, and if anything, I think that will help balance out my bias a little bit, because I think it would be difficult to beat Terrifier 3 as a slasher movie, to be honest. So, the movie itself, aside from David's performance, is... well, it's better than a lot of the movies in this genre, but let's be honest, that's not saying much, is it? The basic story of this movie is that Walt, yeah, as in Walt Disney, but they never call him Walt Disney because of copyright, found Willy the Rat out at sea. He was an experiment that was dumped and left alone in the middle of the ocean. Walt ends up passing away, and Willie never ends up leaving the boat, living in the basement area before deciding to attack the passengers, eventually taking over the ship so that he can find somebody lost out at sea and help them. Who is it? We don't find out till later in the movie. It's Minnie. It's Minnie Mouse. Now, I haven't watched any of the other Mickey Mouse horror movies yet. I'm planning to for a future video, but I haven't quite gotten there. But my husband has watched Mousetrap, despite the fact that he claims that he hates these bad movies, and yet he watched one without me. Guys, I think we're converting him. And he said that Screamboat is way better than Mousetrap, so I have to believe him for now until I see it for myself. But what I've seen is that most of the Mickey Mouse horror movies are just a dude with a Mickey Mouse mask going around killing people. And I do have to wonder, the idea of a guy just dressed up as Mickey Mouse killing people, doesn't that sound like a much duller and generic concept than a genetically mutated rat going crazy randomly one night and deciding to murder people to take over a ship? When I said earlier that the thing that usually makes or breaks movies like this for me is how they justify the monster being in the movie, and what they do with the premise of the monster being a Disney character, I really meant it. I think that a lot more thought went into Screamboat's story than Mousetrap's and other Mickey Mouse horror movies that I've looked into. Like I've said, most of them are just a serial killer who uses a Mickey Mouse mask. Like, boring. Serial killer slasher in a mask, we've done that thousands of times by now. Even if some aspects of the movie are silly or cringy, for example, the copious amounts of Disney quotes and references, but we will get to that. The story behind Willie becoming a killer makes sense, clearly is a homage to the original Steamboat Willie cartoon, and comes up with a fun horror movie idea. Now, did it execute it well? Well, yes and no. But let's get into it before I waffle on for too much longer. As always, spoiler warning for the entire movie, so if you want to go and watch it, you can watch it on Amazon Prime, of course. Or you can just do what I do, and ask for it as a gift. Seriously, I love how much my husband enables my love for terrible movies. He claims that he hates them, but he keeps supplying them to me. But anyway, let's get into Screamboat. So we open the movie with our first kill, which is a little underwhelming, I have to say. These two mechanics are fixing up the bottom of the Staten Island ferry before being attacked by the rat.
Fuck no.
He chases down the other one, corners her when she falls into a hole, she screams, boom, title card. I mean, as opening movie kills go, this was okay. But considering some of the producers of Terrifier worked on this, I was a little disappointed with the lack of violence here. But maybe I'm hoping for too much considering it's just the opening kill, and also I was kind of spoiled by Popeye the Slayer Man's opening kill. Go watch my video on that, by the way, plug. But anyway, I can't really lie, the first half an hour of this movie is kind of whatever. I know that they have to establish characters that are inevitably gonna die, or kill the rat later on, but this part of the movie is just nothing special. Now, this woman running is Selena. And no, she's not running away from a serial killer or Willie the Rat. She's running away from something much worse. Drunk women on a night out.
There's still a dead zone in the middle of this ride?
No, the ferry's got free Wi-Fi, actually.
Public Wi-Fi? Ew.
Oh fuck, I understand why she's running away from them now. God! I can't lie, this accent is fucking unbearable.
Out of my way. I want to be where the people are.
This is what I was talking about. The Disney quotes throughout this movie are fucking cringe. I know they're doing it to be cute and funny, but it's just so wince-worthy. So we're introduced to various characters here, including Pete, who works on the ferry, cute, and Amber. But honestly, a lot of these characters don't matter, and I'll only bring them up when I need to. I just kind of want to point out this dude who's dressed like Peter Pan because he does nothing throughout the movie. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't even have a speaking role. He's just here because... reference! Holy shit, that green screen looks awful. You know, thinking about it, if these guys got David Howard Thornton to be in this, and some of the producers of Terrifier 3 worked on it, which is an extremely successful horror franchise, they must have had at least a decent amount of money behind this project, right? Well, I looked it up and the budget was actually $2 million, which I'm a little conflicted about because on one hand, that isn't a lot of money to work with when it comes to making a movie, but on the other hand, $2 million was also the budget of Terrifier 3. And there's no scene in Terrifier 3 that made me think, oh damn, that looks bad. They clearly just knew how to utilize their budget a bit better. Alright, so we get some surface level characterization with Pete and Selena, and then we get another kill. Okay, I want you guys to remember this. Willie can fit under a hat, and when he stands, the hat lifts off the ground. This is the first indication that we get of his size, okay? Alright, because this is going to come up again later.
Fuck it!
I don't understand why this guy didn't run away initially. Did he think he was high and hallucinating the creepy whistling, or his hat moving on its own? And growing legs? I know it seems like an improbable thing to happen, but you don't want to take your chances on a creepy boat. I don't think plastic can impale someone's face like that, but at least the effects aren't bad, like I can't really complain here. Right, so there's a scene with Amber and Selena where Selena basically explains that she moved to New York and she's not really enjoying the life that she's building here.
Probably a sign. Dear Selena, abandon your dreams. Love, New York.
I can't lie, this is a plot thread throughout the whole movie, Selena not knowing if she wants to stay in New York, and I just don't care. I know there's a stereotype of New Yorkers being super prideful about being New Yorkers and everything, so I think it's kind of cute to include something like this, but it's just so uninteresting as a side plot, and it doesn't really go anywhere that makes any sense. Like, she ends up wanting to stay in New York, but the reason that she gets there is just completely nonsensical, so I don't know why it's included in the movie. We get another kill, and this time, not only do we get to see Willie properly for the first time, but he falls in love with Selena! This movie is so cartoonish, I kinda love it. She tries to tell other people on the ferry, but no one believes her because, you know, she's talking about a rat killing someone. And we get our next kill. So, remember when he was small enough to fit under a hat, but tall enough to make the hat, considering how big it is, lift when he stood? And also this size when he was killing the other guy on the side of the boat? Yeah, his size is very inconsistent throughout this film. Oh my god, I love David Howard Thornton, man. I know I said I wouldn't let my bias get in the way of me reviewing this film, but you have to admit, he is funny. I do have to wonder though, why hasn't Willie thought about killing the captain before now? He's not been locked up or anything. He's just been roaming around the bottom of the ferry for ages now, so it's a bit weird that he picked today to take over and stir the ship into a different direction. But anyway, the crew quickly finds the captain's body.
What happened to Captain Clark?
He's dead. I'm the captain.
This dude seems a little too happy to be captain, considering how gruesome the captain's death was.
I think I'm ready for that kind of responsibility.
All right, hold on a second, you two. This could be some kind of terrorist situation.
What? Why terrorists? Why would a terrorist do this and then leave the captain's quarters? What?
Can I ask your professional content creator opinion?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do the hey gal face? Is it like this?
No, it's like this. Watch how my eye half closes.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm watching a movie about a killer rat where two girls dressed like Temu Disney princesses are talking about and attempting the hey gal phase. What am I doing with my life?
we show our tits? No, we show our feet. That's where the money is. Toes.
Yes, queen, get your bag.
You are a genius, Jazzy. I know. I am totally a prize to be won.
I can't lie, this death looked pretty good.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god, I love how cartoony they made him.
Oh, there's food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dinner's served. Please, be our guest down in the grand ballroom.
Oh, for fuck's sake, the Belle character is dead. Stop with the Disney quotes, especially when the character story that you're referencing was just killed.
Should have docked by now. Keep it down, asshole. What you call an asshole, dick nose?
Dick nose.
Okay, I'll say it. It's gotta be terrorists. What?
What is it with Americans and assuming that everything is a terrorist attack? Can they just not fathom that someone is just a sick serial killer?
Yeah!
Okay, so this death is actually pretty good, but the green screen, once again, is really bad.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I just fucking high?
Wait, why is... hold on, sorry, Brian from Impractical Jokers here. Sorry, no offense, Brian, but you're probably the most forgettable one in the crew. I also think you're the only one in the group who hasn't got some kind of allegation against them, or hasn't been weird about something at this point. Oh, fuck, never mind. So, Willie manages to electrocute the entire room, blowing the ferry's power, whilst not electrocuting himself somehow. He is also stood in the water. I don't understand how this has happened. I'm trying really hard not to get bogged down by the realism of this movie, but it's really difficult. But I actually like how over the top this scene is, especially with the music. It just feels fun. Okay, I know I need to stop glazing David Howard Thornton, but I just love that Willie is basically just Art the Clown, but as a rat. We get a scene of the child character, who's called Mateo, who manages to get away from the mass electrocution, and Willie walks right past him. He's a capitalist! Get him! Now I hope you're all ready for our obligatory sex scene. You know, when I was watching this for the first time, I do remember that these two pretended not to know each other earlier, when no one was around them, which was very weird. So, you guys remember in the last video when I said that penises were only ever shown in movies as a joke or for shock value? Was I wrong? She is not trying very hard to get away, like, at all.
We gotta get off this horror cruise. Maybe swim the Governor's Island or maybe the statue or something.
That water is way colder than you think it is. Our bodies will go into hypothermic shock within minutes. We'd basically be frozen. Let it go.
Ugh. I was going to comment on how that's a legitimately good reason to prevent the characters from just jumping off the boat, but they had to ruin it with another fucking Disney quote.
Fuck, just give me the damn hammer. What is this?
Holy
This scene is so diabolical. Why would he do that? What was the reason? What was the need? Also, would a dick stay hard if you cut it off like that? You know what? I've googled so much weird ass shit for this channel, I am not googling that. The Fox? Okay, my autism is really showing now. Yes, I'm a fan of Has Been Hotel, and yes, Vox is my current hyperfixation. Sue me. So, Cindy... Yes, that's her name. Wanders off because, in all honesty, I think she's either too wasted to understand what the hell's going on, or she's just an idiot. Or both. And she ends up running into Willie.
Fuck you, you furry hobbit motherfucker!
2 seconds later.
This death just annoyed me because she could have easily run off and survived with the others, and the fact that she nearly did made me like her a little bit more, since she clearly had more sense than her stupid friends. But since she had to be a fucking idiot and just stand there, she ends up dying. I do have to say though, the practical effects are pretty good here, although I don't think her intestines would have come out like that. So we get some backstory for Willie, and I do have to say that this little animated segment is really bad, but it's kind of charming a little bit. Like, it's basic and it's barely animation really, but I don't know, I kind of like it. Although this one frame did make me think of all those Mickey Mouse creepypastas, so it made me laugh when I first watched it. We get another death of a character that I'm sure we have never actually seen before, and honestly, it's pretty fucking gnarly. We get another death with a dude with stormtrooper level aim.
Die, you rat motherfucker!
And then we get a reveal that, honestly, in my opinion, makes no fucking sense. So we find out that the mechanic woman from the beginning is actually alive. And in a stupid reveal, we find out that she's working for Willie? Why? Like, I genuinely don't understand why she's decided to help him here, and the movie does not explain. She just says that they're heading to find someone lost at sea, but Willie is not offering her anything in return for helping him. Does she just like rats? I almost feel like the writers just added the scene in to use this line.
We're all a little mad here.
Also, when the fuck did she have time to make a rat helmet? But anyway, she gets attacked by Willie, who's a bit pissy because he got attacked by his crush. And this dude, who I completely forgot to mention because he doesn't really do much in the movie, sacrifices himself to try and kill the rat. And then Pete also sacrifices himself to try and kill the rat.
No! You have to go, come on!
Dude, I know you guys kissed like 2 minutes ago, but you've known this dude for a few hours, like fucking calm down. And we are finally at the final act. So Selena has the bright idea to dress up like Willie's girlfriend to try and seduce him because despite the whole murder spree being so that he can go find his girlfriend who's lost out at sea, he's been a flirty little shit with Selena throughout the whole movie. And because everyone in this movie just won't kick this fucking rat, she fumbles super hard, gets Mateo pushed overboard, and nearly dies herself. The only reason she survives this is because Willie takes pity on her and pulls her up because she reminds him of his girlfriend. That's it. If it wasn't for that and the fact that for some fucking reason this rat is super strong, she'd have probably have died. Even in death, he was cartoonish as fuck.
Mateo! We're coming to get you! Just keep swimming!
Wait, I thought that the reason you guys couldn't jump off the boat was because you'd get hypothermia? Do you know what? Whatever. So, sequel's coming.
Selena! Help! Stuck down here!
Hello? Hey, Pete, can you hear me? Pete, come in!
I'm coming, bro.
Oh, so a sequel is definitely coming! Screamboat is pretty decent for a Mickey Mouse horror movie, but that isn't saying a lot. I had a really hard time deciding whether I thought that this movie was a good, bad movie, or it was just good for a bad movie, because those two things are very different. Like I said before, I knew that I would have a bias watching this movie because of who was involved, and I really tried not to let that cloud my judgment, but I have to admit, when I initially watched this with my husband, I definitely kinda did. Because rewatching it for this video, I didn't like it anywhere near as much as the first time I watched it. And that was only like a week apart. I did still laugh at all the stuff with Willie the Rat because David Howard Thornton is hilarious. But the Disney quotes were so fucking cringe. The characters were uninteresting and clearly only there to get killed. And the movie itself isn't as entertaining as I would have hoped. Some of the kills were pretty decent, and Willie the Rat was really animated and funny, but overall the movie was just okay. I think it's definitely more creative than a lot of the Disney horror movies of its kind, but again, that's not really saying much. So where am I putting it on the tier list? Well, when I watched this initially with my husband, I was tipsy and I had a great time, but when I watched it on my own, I was sober and I didn't enjoy it as much, so I'm gonna put it in drunken fun. It's a fun film, but in terms of being a bad movie, it's not my favourite. I can't say it's good enough to be in so bad it's good because it's not that great. It's not as entertaining as something like Skins Deep or The Snarling, but it's not as bad as, say, Zombiesaurus or Halloween Candy. In all honesty, the funniest thing about this movie is the Letterboxd reviews. Disney adults gonna hate this 5 stars. She cream on my boat till I Willie. This is just regular New York City rat behavior. And honestly, this one I sent to my group chat and basically said that this is just my entire channel summed up. No one made me watch this. I chose this. Don't be like me. But anyway, that's Screamboat. If you disagree with me with my ranking for whatever reason, or even the points that I made in this video, then you can let me know in the comments. Or you can tweet at me. The links to my Twitter/X and Blue Sky accounts as well as my Letterboxd are in the description. And for generous people who want to support me making these videos, my Ko-Fi and my Patreon are also in the description. If you join the Patreon, you'll receive early access to my videos, my artwork, and monthly commissions by yours truly. Similar to these examples that I'm showing on screen now. So if that interests you or you like the look of my art style, then you can become a member, or you can message me on Twitter or Blue Sky because I do commissions separately from my Patreon. Either way, if that interests you, then either let me know or join the Patreon. But anyway, thank you all for watching. This one was really fun to make, and I'm actually glad to watch something that I didn't hate as my first official new movie video of the year. Hopefully it stays this way in 2026. Let's be honest, I know what movie I'm reviewing next, and it's not going to be like that next time, trust me. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!